Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today. I thought today maybe we'd just do a fantastic little painting that I hope you'll enjoy. Let's start out and have them run all the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with us. While they're doing that, let me show you what I got done today. I have my standard old pre-stretched double prime canvas, and I've covered it with just a very thin coat of liquid white. So it's all wet and slick and it's ready to go, so let's just have some fun today. Today let's start with a little tiny brush, the 2-inch brush. We'll take a small amount of alizarin crimson. We don't need much, just a little alizarin crimson. Just tap a little in the bristles. There we go. And let's go right up in here. I'm gonna put a little bit right up in the sky today. Somewhere about like that. Just wanna warm it up. Be very careful. Very careful. In a heartbeat, you can set the sky on fire. And all we wanna do is warm it a little. There we go. Something about like so. That's all we need. Maybe a touch more of that, and maybe we'll have a little water down at the bottom. I'll put a little bit down here at the bottom. Maybe a little of that pinkish color will reflect right into the water. And if we don't have water, we'll just cover it up. No big deal. Because in our world, we can do anything that we want to do. All right, in that case, let's go into a little bit of the phthalo blue. Once again, don't need much and don't even have to clean the brush. The phthalo blue is so much stronger than the crimson, it'll just eat it up. Okay, let's go back up in here. And now I'm just going to make little X's, little crisscross strokes, something like that. Go all the way across the top. And bring it down till it almost touches the crimson. Once again, the blue is so much stronger, if you're not careful, it'll just eat all the crimson up. There. About like so. While I still have that brush going, I'm going to take a little Prussian blue, which is much darker, and just add to the corners on each side. Something like that. And once again, while I have the blue on the brush, I'm going to go down and put a little bit down here. If we're going to have water, we need a little blue down there. Something about like that. There we go. It really doesn't matter, because we'll change it in any direction that we want when we get there. There, all right. And now, the most fun part of the whole procedure. Let's clean the brush. We wash our brushes, as you know, with odorless paint thinner. And I really, really recommend that it's odorless, or you'll become the most unpopular person in the whole house. And if you do that in the living room, you're going to become unpopular too. Get your little brush beater rack that you put down in the garbage can to contain all that. There we go. I do it here in the studio because they pick on me, and it's a way of getting even with them. There we are. And besides that, it's a lot of fun. Okay, very gently, just blend the entire sky to take out the little brush strokes. And the same thing down here in the water. We're just going to blend it a little bit. See that little bit of pink still there? Shows right through. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. All right, let's have some fun. Let's take, I've got several of these little 2-inch brushes going. I'm going to take one and tap it. Tap right into the titanium white. Show you a simple, simple little way of making a happy little cloud. And all we're going to do is just take and tap in a very basic little shape. We don't care. Just tap it. Just tap it. There. This is the easiest way I've ever found of making very effective clouds. But just tap. But you do have to put in a basic shape. You can't just tap at random and a cloud appears. There. Think about basic shape. How this old cloud would float around and just have a good time all day. Maybe something about like that. Doesn't matter. A clean, dry brush, and very gently, very, very gently, one hair and some air. We can just blend this rascal until it's as soft as you want it to be. That easy. That easy. All right. And we've got some happy little clouds that just live up here in our sky. Okay, great. There. If you just have a little paint on your brush, you can just beat it like that, and it'll take the paint off. And it's easier than going through the whole cleaning procedure. Let's make us a little mountain. For that, I'm going to take some Prussian blue, some black. I'll put a little brown in there too, a little Van Dyke, some crimson, maybe a little more of the crimson. And just mix them up. Cut off a little roll of paint. Should live right out on the edge of your knife. And let's decide in our world, maybe way up in here, there's just, okay, happy little mountain lives way up here. And we don't care, however you want it to be. That's the way it should be. There we are. Something like so. I'm scraping off all the excess paint, all of it. What's left is exactly right. It's absolutely perfect. There. Now I take the 2-inch brush, grab it, and just pull. That does two things. Most important, it removes excess paint, so the next layer goes on much easier. And secondly, it blends the paint down so it looks misty down at the base. And that's exactly what we're looking for today. And we can wash the old brush. Just want to wash the brush. There. As I say, that's really the most fun part of this whole procedure. Let's take some titanium white. I'm going to put the least little touch of bright red in it. And maybe even a little bit of the midnight black. I want to gray it and warm it. Don't overmix it. Leave that marbled. All those little designs will stay right in there. Okay, let's go up in here. A little roll of paint, and we touch, and we just follow the angle in the mountain. Follow it. Follow it, see? Follow right along. Just like that. That's all there is to it. No pressure, though. Absolutely no pressure. Let the knife float. I've said it over and over in other series, but when I was teaching my son Steve to paint, I used to tell him to just pretend that he was a whisper and he floated across the mountain. And it's sort of a good analogy. He understood. And today that little rascal makes the best mountains in the industry. All right. Now then, I've taken a little white, a little touch of the Prussian blue, made a little shadow color. And with that, we'll come right up in here, and we'll put the indication of some happy little shadows that live in our mountain. Right along in here. Once again, absolutely no pressure. No pressure. Just let it sort of float. And when you have this much power, you have to make decisions. Maybe right here. Yep, you're right. See, here's another little peak. And maybe it comes right on around here somewhere. I don't know. Don't know that we really care. Just want to show you how to do it, and you decide where they live. Back to our shadow color. Each little highlight needs its own individual shadow, or it won't play with you. It'll just go home. So give each one a shadow. Maybe it sort of bends over like that. It's your world. And then in your world, you can do anything that you want. Clean, dry 2-inch brush will create a little bit of mist up here just by tapping. Pay very close attention to the angles and follow them. Lift upward, takes out the little tap marks, sort of blends it all together. That easy. There we are. Once again, just blend it. Angles are most important, though. Most important. Sometimes, let's get crazy. Sometimes I like to paint like a big ridge of mountains that lives underneath one mountain that's striking. So we'll have a little ridge. It comes right down through here. We don't know where it goes. Maybe it goes on over here somewhere. I'll probably put some trees there, so don't worry about it. You know me, I always have to have a big tree. So I'll probably have a tree there. Put a little paint on, grab 2-inch brush and pull it, the same as we did before. Pull it. Really get in there and grab it. That pulls that paint down and removes excess paint. There. Something about like that. We don't care where it goes. There we are. Now we'll take, once again, I'm putting a little black with the white to gray it. just a little. Small roll of paint and no pressure. No pressure. I'm using less paint on this one. A lot less paint, just barely touching. I just want the indication here. Think where light would hit. This mountain says our light's coming from the right. So pay attention to where light would strike. Think about it in your mind. Just think about it. Just let it go. No pressure at all. None whatsoever. I know you get tired of hearing that, but it's so important. And I get letters every day from people who say, I'm still having a little problem with the mountains. It's 99 times out of 100, it's one of two problems. The paint is too thin. Paint is too thin, and it just, as Steve, my son, says, it just mushes together. And you have mud, or you're applying too much pressure. One or the other. One or the other. There. And once you get the pressure thing down, then it's easy. Then it's so easy. I get letters every day, as I say, from people all over the world, fantastic friends. And they tell me they never believed they could paint. And they're doing paintings now that friends and relatives absolutely don't believe. I've had some of them tell me that the friends start looking real close and try to find the numbers. They think they're paint by number. That they never believed that their friend had that kind of talent. But you can do this. You really and truly can do this. There we go. I have youngsters in their 90s write and tell me that they wanted to paint their entire life. And now they're doing it. Now they're doing it. And if you can do this, you can do anything that you believe you can do. Anything. Anything. I know you can do it. And if I know, you certainly do. There. All right. But that's all I want there. It's just the indication of some nice cliffs or something that are underneath that big mountain. There we go. I'm just going to lift this up and blend this together. Something like so. I want this to be very soft at the base, though. Very, very soft. All right. Shoot, we're doing okay there. It's pretty nice looking mountains we made in just a few minutes. I'm going to take some of that mountain color, add a little white to it. I want to lighten it up a little bit. About like that. And maybe, let me clean the knife here. Get a fan brush. Maybe in our world, way back under this mountain, maybe there's an indication of a few old trees that are far away. We can't make out a lot of detail in these trees. These trees are too far away to have a lot of detail. So don't spend a lot of time trying to put every leaf on these. It will ruin the illusion of distance if you do. When things are far away, you see shape, basic color, and that's all. There. Now we can take a 2-inch brush, tap it severely, right on the bottom, and lift up. I tapped it down here only to create the illusion of mist. A little bit of mist. Now then, you know me, I'm crazy about trees, so I thought maybe Dave would do a few trees. Why not? Let's take Prussian blue, phthalo green. I like phthalo green in my evergreens sometimes. A little Van Dyke, some crimson, and we'll just mix all those together. All of them together. Might as well mix a pretty good pile of paint. Wipe off the knife. I just wipe the knife on an old paper towel. There we go. Let me find the old fan brush. Hey, there's one. Got too many brushes going here. I'm going to load it full of paint, both sides. A lot of color. Okay, let's go up in here. Big decision time. We have a tree. We do have a tree that lives right there now. Just use the corner of the brush to start out. As you work down the tree, push harder and harder, really smooshing it, once again, as Steve says. He's quite a character. I think he's almost 27 years old now, and he's painted his entire life. That's all he's ever known. And I'm so proud of him. He is a character. Little short guy, he's nearly 6'6" now. Calls me Shorty. There. Little touch here. And Steve is so accomplished at what he's doing. Him and my dear friend Dana Jester, they travel around and they teach instructors how to instruct. Plus we have a couple other people that do it. There, but at his young age, he's practiced enough already that him and Dana teach people how to instruct. So we have teachers running loose all over the country. There, got to spread the joy. Okay, we'll have another one right there. Have another one right there. There we go. Wherever, this is your forest and you can make it any way you want it. Sometimes you can just do something like this. And because we don't worry about detail at the base, only where they stand as individuals. Down in here you could care less. We'll separate that with highlights. You don't even have to worry down here. All you're worried about is the nice tops. See, we just made a forest right there, that easy. We'll come back with a little light green and we'll just highlight those little rascals. Easy. Okay, I like bigger trees. We are going to have a forest here. Now when you're painting, I'm not having too much trouble here, but when you're painting, when you go over a mountain like this or something, you have a hard time making it stick, dip the brush into a little bit of paint thinner and then go through your color. It'll thin the paint just enough that you can go right over the top of that other without it mixing together so bad. All right. We said we was going to have a big tree here, so I think we should do that. There we are. Big old tree. And once again, down here, we don't care. We really don't care, because I'm going to fill this up full of trees. I want a whole forest out here in front of this beautiful mountain. There. And we'll have one more right here, just to cover up that hole we got left. And we're in business. Now, you could fill this up here with a paint roller. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just quickly drop in some stuff. In fact, I could have painted these with 1 or 2 inch brush and been a little faster. Now then, tell you what, let's see something here. Let's just bring this together down here on the bottom. Like that. There. Just bring them together. This is our world, so we can do anything we want to here. Anything we want to do. There we go. And maybe in our world, maybe a little of this is reflected right down into the water. Yep, you're right. See there? Just pull a little bit of it straight down. It's important that it comes straight down. And I'm trying to save a little bit of pink and go across. Isn't that easy? That easy. Have instant reflections. Yeah, I like that. Now then, this is the little fan brush that had the tree color on it. And I just went into some cad yellow, yellow ochre, and I'll hit the Indian yellow any minute here. Because it had blue and black in it, when I touched this, it turned green. See, take a little of that, put in there, turns beautiful green. Okay, let's go up in here. And with that color now, we can come back in here and begin picking out the highlights. Now, once again, if it doesn't stick too well, and mine's not, add a little paint thinner. See, now watch the difference. A little paint thinner, and I just pull the brush back through the color. That thinned it out, and now it sets right on top of that. There. The brush goes away, I'm just loading a little more color on it. That's all. Now, I like to keep my evergreens very dark toward the base, because that way it looks to me like there's big shadows down there. And I like to keep evergreens pretty dark, period. To me, they're darker than trees with leaves on them. But it's an individual thing. The only rule here is that you enjoy, and it makes you happy. If it does that, then it's perfect. It's perfect. Couldn't be any better, no matter what you do. There. And in painting, you will continually grow. Every painting is a learning experience. And you know in your heart that your next painting is going to be better. I tell our instructors all the time, I hope they're plagued their entire life with dissatisfaction. I know that sounds horrible, but as long as you're not satisfied with what you do, then you go back and you try it again, and you do it better and better and better. So I hope you have the same disease. I hope every painting that you do, you look at it and you say, I could do better, because you can. You learn from every painting. Every painting is a learning experience. Everything in life is a learning experience. It's not failure. If it doesn't work the way you want it, it's not failure. It just means you learned something. And as long as you're learning, you're not failing. Let's take a little on the 2-inch brush, a little of that same green, yellows, maybe a little bright red here and there. Tap. Okay, let's go up in here. And maybe in our world, see, maybe this is a beautiful little grassy area back here. It's one of them places you like to take your shoes off and let your feet run naked through there. Whew. Nice. Nice, I like little meadows. There. We need some dirt down here. We'll take a little brown, dark sienna mixed together. And we'll put the indication, some soil, dirt, whatever you want to call it. There. About like that. Just a little brown and white mixed together and make a highlight. There, just a little. I'm going to bring some grass down so it doesn't matter. A little of it will show. A little of it will show. Okay, I'm going to grab me a 1-inch brush. I'm going to dip it into a little bit of the liquid white, just to thin this color. Get some sap green, some yellow, a little more of the sap green there. Ooh, nice color. Pull that brush in one direction to load it, then turn it over. So the round corner is at the top. Let's go up here. With that round corner up, now we can touch, push, bend very gently and create the illusion of all kind of little bushes and trees and happy little things. They live here. They live here in our world. A little yellow ochre, maybe a little touch of the bright red right on the end. Make a little flower that lives out there. Sneaky, huh? Another little bush. He lives there. I know him. I know him. He's my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. There. I know painters are a little weird to go out and make friends with bushes and trees, but that's okay. That's okay. Whatever it takes. Now back to the old 2-inch brush. And we'll come right along in here and put in some more of that soft grassy area. There. Just a little here and there. Wherever you think they should be. Bring them together. The more you tap, the softer they'll become. Till it looks like velvet laying out here or silk. You can do that. You really can do that. A little bit of the liquid white. And we can come right in here. Zoom. Cut in a little waterline indication. This is just a light area between the darks, that's all. Just a little light between the dark. All right. Wherever. Something like that. Now, sometimes it's fun. We get crazy. I'm going to take the old 1-inch brush and maybe over here on this side, there's a little bush lives right here. We'll just drop in some dark so we'll have something for our light to show on. There we go. Get our brush that has the green, sap green and the yellow on it. And let's just pop in a happy little bush right here. This bush sits on this side of the water and watches everything happen. There we are. Okay, a little touch more right in there. Shoot. We about got that rascal where we want it. Tell you what. I think that one's about done. I'm going to take a little bit of red. We'll sign that one. Call it finished. Hope you've enjoyed this little painting. It'll give you experience with all the equipment. And if you can do this one, you can do anything. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless, my friend.